Hello, everybody. So excited to be here. All right. So I see so many of you have some incredible comments coming in already. So good to see you, Annette. So good to see you, Paige. So good to see you, Deemy. Let me know. Can you hear me okay? Is the audio all right? Let me know in the chat. But I am so excited. We have Deemy is resting well this weekend, so they are ready for this week. So good. Here's a couple of insights. Welcome to the One Client Away Challenge. I'm Sean Q, your host for today, and I am so excited because we have some incredible training geared up for you. Two quick announcements before we jump right in. Number one, if you have a gold nugget, you hear an insight, you hear something that's just so juicy, I want you to use hashtag gold nugget to share that value. I want you to let me know so that I know what's really hitting home for you. And here's the truth. You might hear something that other people might not hear. So it's super important for you to share that insight in the chat right now. Actually, let's go ahead and practice this. Go ahead and put hashtag gold nugget and let us know something you've learned recently that has been super valuable for you, whether it's about marketing or sales or coaching or showing up and getting visible, whatever it is, let us know. Just use hashtag gold nuggets, share it in the comments below. And then number two, if you have a question, we actually want to answer those questions. We want to be here to give you value. So number one is use hashtag question for more clarity. If you have more questions, we will answer those at the end. But as soon as you have that question, let us know and we will make sure to get that to you. Again, I'm Sean Q. We will have three incredible coaches here this entire week, all ready to serve and support you in your efforts to creating impact in the world. I'm CEO of the company called Abundance Worldwide, and I am really excited because we are on a mission to empower 100,000 coaches. That includes you. So if you're a coach or a consultant, you help people, you serve people powerfully, then let us know how you help people. I'm going to take a look at the chat one more time. Let us know in the chat who is tuning in. I see. Oops. This is going to be so fun. Good to see you. So good to see you as well. Somebody says hashtag yay. Somebody says hashtag gold nugget, how to stream Facebook Lives to other formats. Yeah, I love that. Somebody says, replying to AC, thought it was your internet connection. We are working on that right now. So let me know if you can at least hear me and if you can at least see me. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me okay and if you can see me okay. There's a lot of coaches. Absolutely. We are on a mission. Somebody says, hashtag gold nugget. Showing up on social really does get you in front of more people. I see more on Facebook as well. That is so good. Somebody also said, tuning in from SoCal. Yeah. Okay. I hear you so well. Okay. Perfect. All right. So let's go ahead and jump in. I have my slides I want to share. Now, we were having some tech fun this morning. How many of you have had a hard time? Okay. Let me actually do this real quick. How many of you have had tech challenges in just the process of building your business? How many of you have experienced glitches or tech difficulties or like, why isn't this thing working? Listen, let me tell you, I've been there 1,000 times. And we made a decision early on, instead of calling it tech challenges or being tech declined, we made a decision we're actually going to call it tech fun. We're having a lot of tech fun today. So can somebody put hashtag tech fun in the chat? Something else I forgot to mention, which is like my next slide. Today we're going to be talking about how to find and attract your next coaching client. We're giving away prizes, and the number one way to win a prize, whether it's an iPad mini, an Amazon gift card, a book bundle, some of our favorite books, or even a full VIP day with both me and my two executive coaches, you can win some of these prizes. The easiest way to win is simply commenting in the chat. So go ahead and right now, just let me know where you're tuning in from, and we'll go from there. Somebody said, so many tech day funs, so many tech fun days, even with two tech pros in the house. I love it. So good. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Okay, so this week we're going to dive super deep. Some of this training I've never taught before. Some of this training, if you've been part of the challenge before, it's going to be a great refresher, especially going into 2024. We've made a couple of tweaks so that you can go in knowing it's the most up-to-date training. Let me know, have you taken the challenge before? or is this your first time here? We typically do this challenge a couple of times a year, and it's always so powerful. Let me know in the chat, how many times have you taken this challenge? Are you completely brand new, or is this your first time doing? Or have you done this before? Is this your first time, or have you done this before? So today we're going to talk about how to find and attract coaching clients. Day 2, tomorrow, we have Heather Waininger. She's freaking phenomenal. She's going to be talking about how do you create excited buyers with smart social. On day 3, I'm going to be back with the Heck Yes sales system, showing you exactly how you can create easy and natural invitations into your coaching programs. On day 4, we have Brian Buck. He's a phenomenal coach, talking about the secret psychology behind leadership and influence in sales and in invitations. And then on day 5, I'll be back to close this out with the grand finale, talking about the 7-figure coaches model. Now, here's some really cool things. Every single day, you get workbooks with cheat sheets, scripts, and templates to help you make a lot of progress. And so I'm curious for you, what day are you most excited about in the chat? Somebody said this is the 6th or 7th time they've taken this. Somebody also said first timer. Yeah, that's so exciting. Okay, let me know in the chat, which day are you most excited about? Let me know. Okay, 2 parts of me. Number 1, you got that first picture, which is my crazy hair. This was me in high school. It's my senior photo. I like to have a lot of fun. So can we have a lot of fun? A lot of people make business so complicated and so complex, and you have all these like people just puffing up their chest and like, oh, I'm a businessman. I don't want to. Let's just have fun. Is that okay? Can I make some things super simple and super fun? And then on top of it, I'm in this with great purpose. And the 2 most important people in my life are right in that other picture, which is my beautiful wife and our beautiful daughter. My beautiful wife's name is Adiola, and my beautiful daughter's name is Nyla. And she is about 15 and a half months, which is wild. She's in the stage, y'all, where if like, okay, we were giving her snacks last night, and we opened up the snack thing, and she cried. And I was like, what? You wanted the snack? So then I closed it, and then she was crying. And I was like, I don't know what to do. And she's in the stage where she wants to try everything herself. And so she wanted to open up the cup of snacks. And so we are in a very fun stage of parenting right now. And it's just she's such a great child. I love her. Okay. So let me know in the chat, what is your bigger purpose? Why are you here? What is the reason why you do the work that you're doing? Tell me, maybe for you it's family. Maybe for you it's freedom. Maybe for you it's you just want to have the ability to do what you want, when you want, how you want it. Maybe you just don't want a boss. What for you is the big reason you showed up today and you keep showing up for yourself? Let me know in the chat. Okay, can I get a heck yes? Can I get a heck yes if you're really good at what you do and get insane results for your clients? Can I get a heck yes? Let me know in the chat. Put hashtag heck yes. If you know the transformation that you actually create for your clients is worth mega bucks. Let me know if you're not afraid of massive action and you actually want your efforts to pay off. You're willing to do the work and you want to get the results. Let me know you want a system that can help you communicate the transformation you create so you can fill your programs and your offers. Let me know in the chat. Give me a hashtag heck yes. Do you want to be seen as an expert in your space, become a professional full-time coach, land aligned, high-paying dream clients who love doing the deep inner work you guide people through? If you're like, yeah, then I have good news, because that is exactly what we're here to do. Here's what I know to be true. Number 1, Star Wars is the greatest cinematic universe on the planet. I absolutely love it. I actually have a lightsaber, like a replica lightsaber on its way. I've been like waiting for this to come for like 6 weeks. If you're a Star Wars fan, we're automatically best friends. I love it. Number 2, I love The Office. And this is my favorite quote from Michael Scott. Why don't you explain this to me like I'm 5? So is it okay if I make things super fun, but also super simple and easy? Because here's the truth. I've read all these books. Let me know, have you read any of these books? Which ones are you like calling out and like, oh yeah, that was such a good book? Sometimes you read a book and then you don't actually know where to start. I've studied the greatest coaches, experts, and entrepreneurs out there, from Henry Ford, Solomon, Steve Jobs, John D. Rockefeller, Tony Robbins, Eric Ries, Ryan Deiss, Jib Blown, Trisha Griffith, Julie Sweet, Abigail Johnson, Jay Shree Ulal, Cynthia Marsh. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Here's the secret. Let me know in the chat. Do you want to know the secret? You are what you do, not what you say you'll do. We just started a new year, 2024, right? Hashtag Happy New Year, y'all. We just started a new year. How many things did you say you were going to do in 2023, but you actually didn't do it? And so you're feeling right now, maybe the lack of action that you took. Or maybe you made a decision in 2023 and you kept it. And you feel the excitement and the pride that comes with finishing something. You are what you do, not what you say you'll do. In other words, you are what you do, not what you learn to do, but never get done. Listen, you're going to learn a ton of things this week, but we need you not just to learn. We don't want you just to have a freebie folder where you're filling out all these notes and then you don't actually do anything with it. We want you to do things. So this week, we're actually going to get you into action. True learning doesn't happen in the collection of information. I'm not here for you to just collect more insights and know-hows. But in the execution of it, if that insight doesn't turn into transformation, if the insight doesn't turn into behavior shifts, into action, it doesn't matter. Information without action is almost never a solution and almost always a distraction. Somebody put that in the chat because that was a breakthrough for someone right now. You have been collecting information and wondering why things aren't moving forward, and it's because you're not connecting that information with action. And then it becomes a distraction. Right now, I want you to make a decision. Actually, put your hand on your heart, and I want you to whisper the word decide. Decide. Are you ready to commit to doing this work this week? Because here's the truth. Faster decisions will improve your life and move you closer to your goals. You are literally one decision away from moving the needle forward. Some of you are going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth because you don't know whether you should niche down to this or that. You should be on this platform or that platform. You should share this message or that message. This week, we're going to make decisions. You're going to take action and make decisions. Take action and make decisions. So here's a couple of decisions I want you to make. Number one, we're going to define who your dream hero client is. This is the person you actually want to help them succeed because you're about the mission they're on. Number two, we're going to identify what your heck yes offer is, the thing you feel really excited about fulfilling. And number three, where your shine, not grind platform is. Let me know where your shine, not grind platform is. So good. How many of you want to shine and not grind? Let me know in the chat. Somebody put hashtag shine over grind. Shine over grind. Here's 13 challenges that you're actually going to overcome this week. Number one, if you're not charging enough, you know you're not charging enough. Actually, let me know if that's you. Just put number one. Yeah, that's me. Okay, you're not charging enough. You know you're not charging enough. Number two, you're attracting broke clients. People who just can't afford you. So even when you do say your price, it's like, oh, there's a lot of resistance there. Number three, you're selling at prices you later regret, right? You maybe say yes to someone, but then you regret saying yes to that person. Then you're working with them for a price you actually don't want. Number four, you don't know how to price your services. So you're trying to figure out, like, kind of gut guess or like figure it out. You're not a salesperson. You hate sales, right? Maybe that's you. Let me know in the chat. Number five, you're not a salesperson. You just hate sales. Number six, you're scared to charge what your offer is worth. Number seven, you're unsure if what you do is worth a higher price. Like, will people even pay? Number eight, you don't know how to close higher paying clients. So maybe you're like, oh my gosh, I know how to close like low ticket stuff, but I don't really know how to close higher paying stuff. Number nine, you are worried people won't buy at a higher price. Right? Maybe you're selling actively at a certain price and you're like, if I raise my price, people are going to stop buying. Number 10, you're tired of doing free work to build your portfolio, right? Maybe you're doing free coaching calls and nobody's actually buying, but you're not also making offers, and it's a whole mess there. Number 11, you feel a higher price equals higher pressure, right? So if you sell at a higher price, then there's just so much pressure to stay, to get people results. Number 12, you don't know what to say when you're talking to a prospect, so you kind of like flub over your words. I know I have been there 100%. And last but not least, you are scared of what others might think of you if you raise your price. And this was a big one for me because I grew up thinking money was evil. I grew up thinking that if I make a lot of money, I must be greedy. That rich people, they're just greedy. And so to make a lot of money, to generate a lot of revenue, to build a successful business, There's a lot of mental junk that we have to unload and kind of let go of. That was a big one for me. If you're like, yeah, there's some challenges there I want to overcome, well, I'm so excited. It's going to be so good because I want you to be proud of yourself. You chose to invest your time into showing up. This is a free challenge, right? Literally, we're just going to give you all this stuff for free. But you chose to show up and invest your time. And you decided to have a no matter what attitude, no matter what happens this week, no matter what I'm asked to do this week, no matter what discomfort I might feel because it's new, no matter what, I'm going to take action. I'm going to move the needle forward. Let me know in the chat. I see a lot of number 5s. I see number 10s. Somebody said, I'm not even attracting clients to even have a sales call. Oh man, it's going to be so good. This week's going to be so good. Somebody says, I'm not charging enough and everything else. So good. I love it. All the shines over grind. So good, so good, so good. And then I actually can't see your name. So let me know what your name so I can actually call you out. Okay. This week, you officially have 3 sales coaches and a radically supportive tribe. Can we all make an agreement right now? Can you actually tag someone who's alive and say, hey, way to show up? I believe in the power of community and in support of a tribe who are on the same mission. We're all on the same mission this week to win. And so you have 3 success coaches, 3 sales coaches. You got me, you got Brian, you got Heather. But you also got a radically supportive tribe. We are all here to see you win. So go ahead right now, tag someone that you see, and just shout them out. Say, hey, I got your back. You got this. You're doing a great job. Now, this week, my job is to evaluate your performance and measure it against your potential. You will never maximize your potential in any area without a coach. So this is what life is like without a coach. You're breaking windows. You don't really know what you're doing. And this is like with a coach. You're actually in the pros. Now, here's what's really exciting. The professional athletes that are already really good, they're at the top 1% of athletes, have coaches. So simply because you're really good at what you do doesn't mean you don't need a coach. We all need coaches. So you got a coach. Serena Williams pays $4,500,000 for her coach. And yet she has to still show up and play. So just because you have a coach this week, you have 3 coaches and a supportive tribe, doesn't mean you get to sit back. You have the opportunity to be called up to leadership, to be called up into action, to show up and to play. Imagine who you'd be today if you had someone keeping you accountable to your potential over the last 10 years. Actually, I want to sit on that. Imagine who you'd be today if, not last year, or the year before, and the year before, but 10 years ago, you had a coach. You had someone keeping you accountable to your highest performance levels every single day. You wanted to give up, they said, no, let's get out of bed. You wanted to be distracted, they said, hey, you're distracted, let's get into action. You were kind of wavering back and forth, they helped you make decisions. Where would you be today? Let me know in the chat. Now, here's what I require from you. As your coach, there's 3 success commitments I need from you. Number 1, trust the process. Even when it's new, scary, or something that I've tried once before. I want you to say that out loud. I'm going to trust the process even when it's new, scary, or something I've tried once before. Number 2, I'm going to make the time because I know distraction will stop me faster than anything else. Say that out loud. You're going to make the time because you know distraction will stop you faster than anything else. And finally, stop being the best kept secret because it's your time to finally shine. Say this out loud. It's my time to finally shine. Who's ready to stop being the best kept secret? Somebody in the chat, go ahead and put no longer the best kept secret. Let me know in the chat. I love all of this support. Somebody says, Occam, got your back. Somebody says, I'm happy you're here. Somebody says, Paige Bliss, you're amazing at showing up. Somebody is tagging people and said, so happy to see y'all today. Megan, Shirley, AC, so good. Somebody says, hashtag it is my time to shine. So good. Okay, let's talk about attracting high-paying dream clients. We've all made commitments. We're all in it to win it. I'm so excited. Okay. Before you can land a new client, you need an offer you can sell. Everybody say, duh. You need to sell something in order to land the client. Business is literally simply getting paid to help real people solve real problems. That is like the simplest definition is you're helping real people to solve real problems in exchange for a transaction, for money. Right? You pay me and I'll help you solve your real problem. Now, here's where most coaches get it wrong. Okay? And I want you to Jurassic Park's my favorite, but I want you to really like lean in, pay attention. I'm going to take the lens of confusion off and give you some lens of clarity. Most people do one of two things. Most coaches. Number one, you get certified in a technique or method. You find something that's like blows your mind and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get certified in that technique or method so that I can go do that to other people. Maybe you experience it from a coach and a coach creates clarity for you. They create breakthrough for you. They create transformation for you. And you're like, I love that technique. I'm going to go get certified and then I'm going to have this $1 billion business. Or maybe you watch someone get coached or you experience it in some way, but you're not really going to go the certification route. Instead, you're going to DIY it. How many of you are DIY coaches? No shame in that, right? You bought the books, you listened to the podcast, you watched the YouTube videos, you did everything. Let me know in the chat how many of you are certified and how many of you have DIY'd it so far. Let me know in the chat. We actually have a certification program. We're going to talk about that here. But we've certified several coaches. Let me know if you're a certified coach in our chat, if you're an abundance certified coach in the chat. I'd love to just shout you out. But you get certified, you learn that technique, or you DIY it, you develop that technique. And in either case, despite all the training and all the DIYing, you're still a little lost when it comes to the business side of coaching. You become really good at coaching, but you're not good at the business side of coaching. But you're an entrepreneur, so you get to work, right? You start working like crazy. You start putting it together, the website. You start putting together the funnel. You start posting on social media. You start doing all the things that they tell you to do. And then you're waiting, and you're waiting, and you're waiting. And you say, maybe if I hit refresh, something will happen. And all that waiting eventually is exciting, but then it becomes despair. And this is the saddest gift in the world, y'all. But then that despair turns into frustration, like a real anger. Like, why isn't this working? How many of you have been here? Let me know. Somebody say yes. But you're not a quitter. You're a coach, so you do a little self-coaching. You get yourself back up. You'll look for help. Most of it's a waste of time, though, because they don't show you the how. Maybe you're joining webinars. Maybe you're joining other challenges. Maybe you're doing things that you're like, okay, I really want to figure this out. You're willing to invest the time. But then they just like fluff you along the entire time, right? So you end up trying to figure it out yourself and change your website, your funnel, your logo, your copy. You get to work because you're an entrepreneur. And then you wait, and you wait, and you wait, and still no one bites. And so that frustration turns into rage. How many of you have wanted to just beat your computer dead because of how frustrating it's been? And it can almost sometimes feel like this. You're walking, you're like, oh, I found it. Nope, that's not the right door. So you're like, okay, let me go to the next door. And this is, nope, that's not it either. And then you go through the next door and you're okay, I finally figured it out. And no, it's still not the case. That's a really sad video. But it feels like you're constantly hitting a wall. Here's the good news. Somebody say there's good news. Hashtag there's good news. Somebody say hashtag there's good news. The era of sacrifice, hustle, and grind are over. There's a better way. Welcome to business with intention, with joy, and alignment. Now, talking about clients. A bad client is worse than having no client at all. Fully believe this. Bad client is worse than having no client at all. Because a bad client is going to cost you money, time, energy, sleep, opportunity, your reputation, your peace of mind. Listen, at the end of the day, all I wanted was to be my own boss, spend more time with my family, my wife, help my family when they needed it. But I was scared of sales. I was scared to talk about money. I was scared to build my business. I was scared to get visible. And I was scared to niche down. I was scared to target. I was scared to become a specialist. And this is what I said. Maybe this is something you've said, but I want to help everyone. Somebody let me know. Are you everyone, people? Let me know in the chat. If you're like, I want to help everyone. I've been there too. Don't worry. I took on any client that was willing to give me money because, listen, y'all, we got bills to pay, of which the first happened to be a local client, which led to one of the most stressful times in my life and where I discovered that this was very true. Ignoring red flags because you want to see the good in people will cost you later. Ignoring red flags because you want to see the good in people will cost you later. It's absolutely okay to see the good in people. It's also okay to acknowledge red flags. How many of you know this is true? Somebody say yes in the chat. Here are some serious red flags that I didn't realize were actual red flags because I ignored them because I genuinely wanted to see the good in this client. He would call me at 1 a.m. He was a local client. He blamed me for every mistake that he made. He never got his work in on time, then claimed I was the one holding everything up. He threatened to sue me. He threatened to ruin my local reputation. He lacked integrity. He lied. He even once said, "You should be stressed." Y'all, listen to this. He said, "You should be stressed anytime you're working for me. You are working for me. Stress brings out the best." Let me tell you something. I don't want to work with someone, and I know you don't either, who has this philosophy that they should be stressing you out because then you'll perform. I want someone who sees me and says, "You know what? You'll be fueled by joy, not stress. You'll be fueled by alignment, not stress." When you say you want to work with everyone also includes people who are jerks and people who are jerks just on purpose. They just like being jerks. I don't know why, but they just like being jerks. People who don't care about your mental health, people who have no respect for your work, people who don't believe in coaching, people who pay late or not at all, people who you aren't even qualified to even help. So finally, one day while at my kitchen table, while I was working with this client, I broke down. And I know I'm not the only one. Occam here has said I had one client that I dropped my price super low because I thought I could help her. She proceeded to be the longest session today and wanted to go longer. Then she proceeded to message constantly about drama that she was creating for herself. Valerie said I had one client that wasn't a good fit, and no matter how many times in different ways I tried to explain things to them, they just didn't get it. They also didn't value my time and became both a time and energy suck. How many of you have had bad clients and been in this situation where you're like, "This is fine, but I think it should be better"? Paolo Chialo said, "If it costs you your peace, it's too expensive." Somebody put that in the chat. If it costs you your peace, it's too expensive. Listen, if it costs me my peace, I can't afford my peace. I only got my peace. If it costs you your peace, it's too expensive. So at my kitchen table, I said this to myself. There must be a way to land aligned, happy, committed dream clients. I had a little twang there. Aligned, happy, committed dream clients. How many of you want aligned, happy, committed dream clients? Somebody put that in the chat. Aligned, happy, and committed. Well, what if you had a process that helped you create those boundaries, set expectations, and reduce the stress and headaches of working with a bad client? Lovey Ajayi Jones, one of my favorite authors, said, "Not all money is made equal. Not all money is happy money." Somebody say happy money. Money you're happy to ask for and money they're happy to give you because it's so perfectly aligned. Here's where I discovered 2 secrets that changed everything. 3 types of buyers. Secret number 1, there's 3 types of buyers. There are the diehards. Okay, these are the people who are the hardest to sell to because they're hyper committed to the solution they're already paying for. They need a major identity shift in order to buy from you. And they're looking really to buy more from their existing solution. They are both the hardest and easiest to sell. So if they are a diehard for you, they're easy to sell. If they're a diehard for someone else, they're really, 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 really hard to sell. Here's a hint. You want to create diehards for your own business, right? Super fans. The way you do this is by over-delivering and supporting your clients as they get results. So you want to create diehards for your business, but when you're speaking to a diehard, here, let me give you an example. How many of you are diehard Apple fans? How many of you will never buy an Apple product because you are a diehard Samsung or Android fan? How many of you will never buy an Android fan because, again, you're a diehard iPhone fan? I have iPhone everything. I have AirPods. I have a MacBook. I have a Mac Studio. I have an iPhone. I have an iPad. I have an iWatch. I'm not wearing it right now. I got everything. I probably will never buy an Android. Let me know in the chat. Somebody's a diehard Apple fan. I love it. It's so good. We're best friends. Somebody says over deliver. Yes, so good, so good. And somebody says Samsung girl. I love it. It's okay. We'll change your mind. We probably won't though, because she's a diehard. Okay, second type, the satisfied. These are people who have a problem, but they're actually comfortable with their problem or their existing solution and don't want to actually change it. What they're looking for is a price or value incentive to buy from you. In other words, this isn't a big deal for me, but I guess I'll shift if the price is right, right? If it's super cost effective. They're typically looking for a cheap or a super easy solution. So I'll give you an example. Most people do not go to the dentist as soon as they feel a little twitch in their teeth. Why? Because number one, they know that maybe their insurance isn't going to cover it. Maybe they know that it's going to be super expensive to go to the dentist, or they know that there's just going to be a big procedure to try to find that. And they don't want to go through all the hassle of that. But they're still feeling the little pain, but they're comfortable with the pain. If it gets worse, then I'll go. Or if you give me a little gel thing that's like $5, I'll put the gel thing on my teeth. So they're typically looking for a cheap or easy solution. The best type of people to sell to are the frustrated. Somebody put that in the chat, the frustrated. This is something I'm actually looking for when I'm on coaching calls and sales calls. I'm looking for people who are extremely unsatisfied with their problem and solution. They need a major clarity to buy from you, which we're going to talk about on Wednesday. How do you create that clarity? And they're looking for a solution right now. They want to buy right now. These are the type of clients who actually buy from you potentially this week while you're doing this challenge. Okay. Maybe you're like getting super clarity. Let me know in the chat. How many of you have been trying to work with people who are not frustrated? You're like, oh, well, that's why they're not buying from me, because they don't care about solving this problem. Let me know in the chat. Okay, dream clients, I want you to take a screenshot of this because I want you to actually print this out or have it available on your phone or your device or whatever. Make it your desktop, because I want you to be looking for this in your sales conversations. Dream clients are happy to pay premium prices for your coaching because they are already convinced and committed to coaching. Despite their frustrations, or they describe their frustrations in terms of success, opportunity, and possibility, not just struggle, opposition, or confrontation. Let me give you an example of this. Somebody can say, I'm really struggling to get visible. They're describing their frustration in terms of struggle versus I'm really working towards getting visible and I'm having a hard time, right? They're talking about how they're working towards something, the opportunity that's there, the possibility. I'm listening for those words in a sales conversation. They get results 10 times quicker and have 10 times more fun, aka there's a fast sales cycle and a fast success path. They tell the world about the work they do with you, and they bring out the absolute best out of you. When I'm in a sales conversation and we're laughing with the potential lead and we're having a good time, we're like, oh my gosh, we just vibe here. This is awesome. I know they're a dream client. So I made a 3-word decision right then and there. The 3-word decision. Somebody write these 3 words down. It's a 3-word decision I want you to make. And that decision was to say this every single time I'm on a sales call. You must be. You must be. When I'm working with a client or when I'm on a sales call, I tell them the type of client they must be. You must be ready for a change. You must be aligned with my values and goals. You must be committed to doing the work, and you must be a dream to work with. I learned this actually from Selena Sue, one of my very first mentors. She asked me a question. She said, what qualities, traits, and values do your clients have to possess in order for you to be giddy about working with them? Right? If I choose to work with you, you must be collaborative, kind, graceful, fun, and adventurous. You must value my work and be ready, able, and willing to pay. You must have a world-class work ethic. You must be driven to make a meaningful difference. You must care about your results more than I do. Here's the really exciting news. Some of you are listening to this and you're like, oh my gosh, that's me. Here's what's exciting is the language attracts. So as you get more clear about who you want to work with and you start describing that person, they will start to show up for you. I'm literally looking for this in my sales calls, like I mentioned. So I want to know from you, what qualities, traits, or values bring out the best in you? What do your clients must have in order for you to feel really good about working with them? Let me know in the chat. I'm going to give you about 30 seconds. So let me know in the chat. Somebody says, not all frustrated clients are looking for solutions. The stream client formula really helps me clarify in a call before I commit to something that will steal my peace. That's so good. Somebody says, you must be caring about your results more than I do. This one's huge. I share this as well. I let them know if I care more about your results than you do, there's going to be a lot of frustration because I'm going to be trying to pull you along, but you're not going to be caring. Listen, they're your results, not mine. 10 years from now, you're going to be experiencing the benefits of those results or the guilt of not doing the actions required to get those results. I'm not going to. That's huge. I love this. They must have a willingness for adventure. Somebody says hashtag gold nugget. I'm writing all this down. So good. Somebody said, I should add that to my copy. You absolutely should get super clear and add it to your copy. I love it. So good. Somebody says, creative, realistic, passionate about their cause, flexible, and find joy in life. Somebody says, you must be open-minded, accountable. I think you meant fun to work with. So good, so good, so good. So here's some really good examples for y'all. If you're having a hard time, look at this comment section. Who do you must be? And I want you to take a minute. I want you to ask yourself, when's the last time you posted on social the type of clients you're looking for? Here's a very easy social post. Oh my gosh, I have 20 minutes left. Okay, I'm going to go really fast. Here's an easy social media post you can post today. I'm looking for one client. You must be all the things you just mentioned because we're going to go super deep. And when we work together, we're going to get results. Does this sound like you? Super simple, super easy social media post. That's just for free. Okay, let's keep going because I have like so many slides to go through. Okay, what you sell. When you go to a restaurant, you open up a menu. And if you go to McDonald's, unless there's like some special or this is like a seasonal or local thing, you can't really order a hot dog from McDonald's because it's not on their menu. Some of you are getting into these sales calls trying to sell things, but you're letting the person determine what they want to buy. Instead of making a menu of items of what you have decided to sell. So like a restaurant, you get to decide beforehand how you want to support your clients. I want you to take a screenshot of this. These are our top selling coaching packages that we've helped our clients build. So whether it's a one-on-one retreat where you work one-on-one with someone in a super exclusive, fancy location, you do deep coaching in this just great luxurious space. A lot of executives and higher paying clients like that. There's group retreats. We do a group retreat every year called the Abundance Retreat. VIP days and intensives, we're going to do a super deep dive on this in a bonus training. But VIP days and intensives, those are like a 1 day, let's go all the way in. Typically, we sold these for about $5,000. And I do about a 4-hour intensive. So for $5,000, we'll do a 4-hour intensive and just go super deep. Then there are 3 types of programs you can build. There's the single result program. This is where you're helping them do one thing, just one thing, and typically it's about 4 to 6 weeks long. There's the multi-result programs. These are our favorites because we help our clients get visible, help them sell, and then also help them create launches. So we do multiple things in our programs. Typically, this is about a 3 to 12 month program. Then you have the continuous results programs. And this is like ongoing or retainer. So I have a couple clients that are just paying me ongoing, and we have a couple calls a month. And it never ends. It's just, they want that kind of accountability and that kind of support. And so I help them, typically it's a peak performance day. We're helping them hit their peak performance day accountable to their goals. Then you have call bundles. And this is typically, hey, call me. You can schedule these as you need them. So you get 3 calls or you're buying 7 calls, schedule them as you need them. This works really well for people who don't want a consistent schedule. And then the very least is office hours and Voxer access, something like that, where it's like, hey, you can call me or you can send me an audio message and I'll respond within 24 hours. And you get 3 months of support for that Monday through Friday type thing. I'm curious, let me know in the chat, which one do you currently sell? Or maybe you sell multiple of them. Let me know in the chat. Here's what's super important. Pricing we'll talk about tomorrow, but just for the sake of numbers, easy numbers, you want to typically have 2 or 3 packages that you sell with your coaching. So let's take your platinum offer. Let's say it's $15,000. This is the greatest transformation someone can experience from you. Typically involves an in-person experience. Then you have your gold. This is the standard package that you offer. This is like the number one thing you sell. Okay? This is typically a single result or a multi-result program. And then you got your silver, let's say it's 3,500. This is typically a VIP day or an intensive, office hours, or a call bundle. Do you have this built out for your business? Let me know so far. Is this creating a lot of clarity for you? Or you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to like piece this together. So good. Now, you always want to start from the top. So if we go back here, you always want to start from the top and then build down. And so what would the most transformational work look like for you? That's a question I want you to really begin to think. What if I took this client, what does the most transformational work look like? For me, we work for an entire year. They become an apprentice of mine. And we go to really exotic places. We do what's called bucket list experiences. And we'll go to all of these incredible experiences and we'll coach while we're experiencing these bucket list experiences. So it's really important to recognize that what your most transformational work is and then build down from there. Somebody says, this is a must do. Somebody asked the question. Okay, I want to remind you, use hashtag question because I will answer this at the end. Hey, Sean Q, what could a bundle for a copywriter look like? Ooh, that's such an easy answer. I'll give that to you at the end. Okay, I have like so many slides. Let's keep going. Okay. Many of you might say, I'll start low and slowly raise my price. You're setting yourself up for an uphill battle every time you raise your price, okay? Stop starting low and raising your price. Maybe you're afraid to sell at a high price, right? I'm going to give you peace of mind. This is a funny gift. It's just Dwight from The Office. Anyways, okay, first of all, there's no shame in ethically making a profit. You need to know that. There's no shame in doing good work. Now, if you were the jerk in 2020 who bought all the toilet paper up in a store and then sold it for 10x the price, you're a jerk. That's unethical. Don't do that. But, right, don't be a jerk. But if you're honestly helping people experience real transformation, you deserve to be paid your value, your offer's value. I believe every person deserves to live a life of abundance. Here's the good news. 87% of buyers are willing to invest above their budget for a solution they believe will actually work. They typically have a price in mind of what they're going to invest in coaching. They'll invest more than what their mind says if they believe the solution will actually work. Selling high ticket also gives you margin. Now, I didn't mean margarine, right? No butter, but margin. Margin gives you options. You can discount, you can dissect, you can negotiate. Right? Let's say you sell 25,000, you can go down to 15,000, and there's still a lot of profit there. So it gives you options to negotiate, to dissect, to discount. Are you ready to land high-paying dream clients so you can experience abundance? Let me know in the chat. So here's the difference between what you sell and what they buy. Okay, attracting buyers. I said this earlier. Language attracts people. Me and my wife went to Mexico for our honeymoon. This was like 7.5 years ago. I hope I got that number right. But we on our honeymoon, we went about 7.5 years ago, and we went to Mexico. Now I'm Mexican, but I don't speak Spanish. My wife is Nigerian American, so she doesn't speak Spanish. And she doesn't speak Spanish either. And so going to Mexico was really challenging. But by the 7th day we were there, I learned how to order food, get limonada, which I think is lemonade. I don't remember. Anyways, I learned how to order food from the restaurant. I felt so good about my skill development. And we went to a restaurant on our last night, and everyone was speaking Spanish. We didn't really understand, but we were connecting. It's our honeymoon. But out of the corner of our ears, we heard someone speaking English. And we all turned to them because they heard us speaking English and we connected. Why? Because language attracts. If you're speaking the language of your dream client, they will hear you and they will feel heard. So here are 7 distinctions you need when you're writing copy. I know we got a couple copywriters in here. This is going to be so helpful for you too. Number 1, struggle versus success language. I want you to feel the energetic shift here. Do you struggle to land clients or market yourself? Versus, are you shining on social, getting lots of engagement, but having a hard time converting those likes into real leads? Right? We're talking about their success. They're shining. They're getting lots of engagement. Now, we're talking about the thing that they're maybe having a hard time with. As opposed to starting with struggle, we want to speak to success and then bring in struggle, bring in pain. And so that's the first thing. Go take a look. Are you speaking a lot of struggle in your language? You're going to attract struggle clients. If you're speaking success language, you're going to attract successful clients. Second distinction is money versus time. There are some clients who will trade money for more time, right? They're going to hire you because they don't want to waste the time. They're going to spend the money so they don't waste the time instead of trading time for more money, right? Oh, I'll just figure this out myself. I'll give my time, but at least I'll have more money, right? There are people, the best dream clients will trade time or will trade money for more time rather than trading time for more money. So I'm listening for, okay, is this person somebody who delegates? Is this person who knows the impact and how little time they actually have? So key. And then the last thing, the third one out of 7 is starting versus scaling. Scaling something that's already working is easier and much more fun for you and the client than the work involved in validating something from the beginning. Listen, for those of you who are just getting, if you work with somebody who's just getting started, there's a lot of work to validate and figure out if it's going to work or not. Versus working with somebody who's already successful. They've already created something. They're looking to grow it, right? They know they're really good at this already, and now they just want the business side of it. They're growing it. That's going to be a much easier sell. Okay. Transformation versus improvement. People who are already successful or even high-ticket buyers don't need a complete transformation since they're already happy with what they got. If you told me I'm going to completely transform your business, I'd say, why? I'm pretty happy with my business. But if you told me I'm going to give you a 3% improvement in your visibility or your conversions or your sales or your productivity, that's massive. Most high-ticket buyers are looking for 3%, 10%, 15% improvement, not complete transformation. Some of you are speaking, I'm going to completely transform your life, as opposed to improvement. And so you're actually scaring away successful buyers with that language. Okay, the fifth one, hand-holding versus direction. I'm looking for this with our clients as well, is somebody who's asking 10,000 questions before taking any action. Even then, they're hesitant, right? They need absolute hand-holding versus I'm already sold, I'm self-motivated, just point me in the right direction and I'll take it from there. That's what I'm looking for in clients. That's what we recommend you look for in clients because they're going to be a lot easier to work with. They're not going to be asking 10,000 questions before they do one small thing. And then the final thing is hard work versus luxury experiences. Successful people don't want to work hard. A lot of us, me included, have been trained. You work hard in life. That working hard is somehow more valuable than working more efficiently. I want to work smart. I don't actually want to work hard. I'd rather much delegate it to someone who it's going to be easy for them rather than hard for me. Buyers, dream client buyers, want bucket list memories or a story they can tell for years to come. They don't want to actually do hard work. They will do deep inner work, but hard work. They want a luxury experience associated with it. How many of you are realizing, like, oh my gosh, yes, this is like creating so much clarity on why I'm attracting people who can't afford me? Let me know in the chat. Are you experiencing any type of insight or any type of clarity? Now, before buying from you, dream clients want to know you deeply understand two things: their problems and their goals. Most people have a process to take you from problem to goal. You're having this problem, I can help you get to your goal. So you focus on selling your offer and you're selling your process, but people don't care about that. They care about their goals. So instead, focus on the transformation and the improvement that you can create in their lives. In other words, people don't buy plane tickets to hang out at the airport. People buy plane tickets to get to the beach. They want the destination. They want where you're taking them. Gary Vaynerchuk told me this backstage once. He said, the number one piece of advice I have for everyone is to learn how to communicate the transformation you create, the improvement, the result that you create. Before you can build, package, and price your offer, make sure you understand your buyers. Now, I want to know what if you could easily build rapport, influence, and connection with the right buyers so you can effortlessly land more clients? Well, that's where I want to go into the demo psychos. Demo psychos, and we'll close with this. I got 7 minutes. Maybe you're like, what you talking about, Willis? What you talking about here? I live off this philosophy. Somebody put this in the chat. Somewhere, someone extraordinary is waiting to be known. Somewhere, someone extraordinary is waiting to be known. All of the coaching that I have done, the business I've built, has been on simply seeing the extraordinary in the person in front of me. And that doesn't mean understanding their demographics, their gender, their age, their job role, their monthly income. I mean, if this is all I knew about you, would I really know you? Probably not. You'd say, no, you just know about me. Psychographics, deep insights into your dream buyer, are things like what their values are, what their beliefs are. What do they believe when it comes to love or friendship or society or connection? What are their routines in the morning and the evening? What are their fears? What are their dreams? What are their identities? Now, here's the truth. You'll never guess your way into the hearts and minds of your dream client. It doesn't work like that. It's not math. It's connection. Now, I only coach professionals. My team only coaches professionals. As your coach, can I call you into a higher level of professionalism? Is that okay? Let me know. Go ahead and put #HeckYes in the chat right now. And I love it. Somebody says, somewhere, someone extraordinary is waiting to be known. So good. So I only coach professionals. As your coach, can I call you into a higher level of professionalism? Here's the truth. Professionals don't guess. Think of someone you're really close to, right? That person you can be silly with. For me, it's my wife. How did that happen? You spent time and had meaningful conversations with them. If I never spoke with my wife, I never had any meaningful conversation with her, I never spent any time with her, I would not know her. The way you get to know someone is spending time with them and having meaningful conversations with them. That's how you get to know what their demographics and psychographics are. The most profitable offers, funnels, ideas, strategies, copy, insights comes directly from fiercely listening. Somebody in the chat put fiercely listening to the people in your market. In other words, shut up and listen. Richard Ford said something that was really interesting. He said, when people realize they're being listened to, they tell you things. And that's the power of the interview. I'll give you 3 examples. JoJo, she's a health coach. She helped people to get back in shape and lose weight. Pretty typical of a health coach's message. I had her go interview one of her existing clients, and her existing client said, I hate the way I feel, and I can't stand looking in the mirror. I feel so bloated, so ugly, and so not sexy. I honestly wish I could go back 10 years when I could fit into my high school jeans. And I want you to notice the pivot. Just from this one line, the pivot of get back in shape and lose weight went to, do you secretly avoid looking in mirrors, constantly feel bloated, and longingly look at those high school jeans hanging in your closet? Let's chat. Notice how it speaks directly to the person. And she actually created new offers. She created a 3-month, a 7-month, and a 1-year commitment. The 3-month included bi-weekly sessions. The 7-month included a 3-day celebration to end. She actually would take them to a really nice location and do a photo shoot with them after 7 months. And then the 1 year started with a breakthrough retreat and ended with the celebration retreat. And she called it the High School Jeans Program. It's great. Stephanie, who's a social media manager and social media coach, specifically for restaurants, hers was, let me help you get more customers using Facebook ads. Great. More customers, Facebook ads. Stephanie interviewed restaurant owners. She didn't have any clients, so I said, just go look at restaurant owners, go find restaurant managers, go on Google, etc. And she spoke with one person who said that social media and the internet scares the heck out of me. One bad review could destroy my business. I had someone go on Google, give us a bad review. They got a lot of traction, and we saw a 15% decrease in foot traffic the very next month. I told her dig deeper, so she dug deeper. And the person said, I'd love to just go on Google and see an avalanche of 5-star reviews and read review after review of how much people love us. I want us to be the next big hotspot in our city. So she interviewed 24 more restaurant owners, and 17 of them said the same thing. So she validated it and noticed the pivot. Let me help you get more customers using Facebook ads to create an avalanche of 5-star reviews online and become the next big local hotspot. Are you seeing the pivot? Somebody in the chat put #pivot. #pivot. Stephanie created a new offer called the 5-star review avalanche. She was still using Facebook ads to do this. She was just generating Google reviews through Facebook ads. Her minimum program was marketing audit, a strategy management and growth plan, and the biweekly consulting. The other ones included Facebook ad manager and analytic data reporting. And then the final one, the big one that she would sell, and I believe this was about $7,500 a month, included social media management as well. So $7,500, $4,000, $2,500 a month. Stephanie and I started working together, and we put together a marketing strategy for her clients. And what we decided was customers can get a free soda if they like the Facebook page and tag the business in a post. They then got retargeted based off of that to give a Google review for a free side dish. The restaurant got an avalanche of positive Google reviews and over 300% more traffic in the very next month. Listen, do you want to attract dream clients? Learn and speak their language. That's why during these 5 days, your number one goal will be to get into more meaningful conversations than you've ever been in before. Every opportunity you'll ever have is on the other side of a conversation. This is literally my business plan. Take a screenshot of this because it's going to be so key for you. Talk to real people. Discover an underappreciated, unsolved, or poorly misunderstood problem. Build the simplest way to solve it. Typically, it's coaching and accountability or strategy. Serve people powerfully and build systems in your business so you can delegate everything to someone else, and then you profit, and you repeat. So go talk to real people. Use Zoom or your phone to have a conversation. Use Messenger or email to schedule the conversation. Here's the truth. If you don't ask, you got zero possibilities. If you do ask, you got a ton of possibilities. Now, let me give you a little bit of tools so you can actually go do these this week. The goal of these interviews is not to land a client. The goal is to discover profitable insights that can turn into strategies and pivots that will lead you to your next client. And yet we've had several people get into interviews that turn into, oh my gosh, I need what you do. Heck yes, sign me up, dream clients. So it can lead to clients, but that's not the goal. I want you to write down the names of 10 people you could interview in the next 72 hours. Not necessarily dream clients, just 10 people you could interview. These could be past or current clients, online friends, church, sports, city friends, influencers, experts. I once randomly emailed Pat Flynn, who's a massive influencer. He responded, and we've become friends since. And we've actually done work together since. But it was from a cold email of just saying, hey, I love what you do. I'd love to interview you. And then family, you can interview family, but I have a red asterisk here because some family, they could be like the most negative Nancy's. So make sure you're asking the super positive, supportive Nancy's, not the negative Nancy's in your family. You want to protect that dream of yours, so make sure you're speaking to people who are supporting you of that dream. And here's the good news. We give you a workbook absolutely for free. It has all the details of how do you conduct the Ask campaign, what questions to ask your interviewee, interview scripts and checklists, the 8-point offer checklist so you can actually build an offer, and your non-negotiable worksheet, your client's must statements. All you got to do is go to clientschallenge.com/day1. Somebody's going to put that in the chat from my team. So you can just click it. They'll include the www, so it's clickable. www.clientschallenge.com/day1. Absolutely free. You don't have to pay for it. Here's the good news, though. If you want to get results even faster this week only, make the most out of this week and get private coaching from Brian Buck, Heather, and myself. You're going to get extra clarity and customized feedback plus additional resources by joining the Inner Circle. That's this week only, Monday through Thursday at 10:30 a.m. Pacific time. In 30 minutes, we will hop on Zoom and coach you, answer your questions, make connections with potential clients for you, refer people to you, and personally help you do everything you can to potentially land a client. Now, the Inner Circle, for today, we're going to help you get into the right conversations with the right people. We're going to help you overcome the fear of talking to people or reaching out to potential buyers for interviews. All you got to do is join the Inner Circle at clientschallenge.com/Inner Circle. It's $97. $97 gets you 4 days of private group coaching, referrals, leads, social media audits. We're going to do a ton of stuff. The Inner Circle, a ton of people have joined the Inner Circle, so congratulations on that. Go to clientschallenge.com/Inner Circle. Here's your action plan before we get into Q&A. Interview one person by tomorrow. At most, this is going to take 20 minutes. So you can do 20 minutes to interview someone. Go live right after this training. You've been hearing from me for the last hour, so go live and share in as much detail who your dream clients are. I love sending referrals. I can't send you referrals unless I know who your dream clients are. So go live and describe it so then I can connect you with the right people and what your biggest gold nugget is from today. Every live stream you do enters you in to win a prize. And make sure you grab your spot in the inner circle so you can get private support. Congratulations to everybody who's already gone live. We are giving prizes and giveaways away on Friday, but we got to give away a $25 Amazon gift card every day to one lucky live viewer. So I'm going to go ahead and check in to see who we got live. And Heather, I see that you're live with me. I'm actually going to bring you on camera. Hey, Heather, how are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm so good. Who is live with us that we can give
Oh,
a $25 Amazon gift card? I'm going to do a quick drum roll. Drum roll, please.
I am going to go with Lily Butterfly. I see her engaging to the very
Lily!
end.
Lily, so exciting. Congratulations. We're going to send you that $25 Amazon gift card. Heather, I'll pull you up in just a second. And then you want to claim your prize, go to support at abundanceworldwide.com in the next 72 hours. You must email us in the next 72 hours. If 73 hours pass, we're going to say too bad, so sad. We told you, 72 hours. So email us at support at abundanceworldwide.com and we'll get that to you by Friday. The rest of this week, how do you create excited buyers tomorrow with Smart Social with Heather? You just saw her. Then the Heck Yes Sales System. Then the secret psychology behind leadership and influence. And then finally, the 7-figure coaches model. I want to give a huge thank you to our team. You got me, you got Dan, Heather, and Brian. And a huge thank you to all the references that we've made in the challenge. Today was day 1, how to find and attract your next coaching client. Was this good or what? Let's go ahead and go over some Q&A. I'm going to go ahead and pull up my team so we can do Q&A. But let me know in the chat while we're waiting. Let me know in the chat what your biggest goal nugget is. And let's go with this. Hey, Heather, so good to see you. And let's go ahead and pull up Brian as
Hello.
well. Hi, Brian.
Hey,
Good to
hey,
see you.
you
All right, I
too.
see a ton of comments. I'm going to pull these comments in. Somebody said, congrats, Lily. Somebody says, I already feel abundance. Somebody says, over delivery every time. I love it. So good. Somebody says, hashtag so good. Somebody says, remember, use hashtag question with your name, y'all. Please do. Please do. Somebody says, value driven team. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so let's go ahead and answer some questions and then go from there. So I'm curious, Brian and Heather, you both have taken this challenge, and now we're all business owners of Abundance Worldwide, co-founders of Abundance Worldwide. So you two have been on quite a journey. Taking this challenge, what has been the most useful piece for you in doing these interviews and getting clear on the language? Heather, we'll go with you first.
Gosh, I think the first thing that I think of is, and I posted in the chat too, is like, encouraging them to do it, because for me it was scary to do. It felt like I was really going outside of my comfort zone to have those interviews. I'm telling you, they are so, so valuable. That's why I said, I'm like, do not skip on this, because the examples you gave are wonderful reminders of making sure that you're speaking to your ideal target. And, my language was more fear-based at some point, and the more I shifted, the more fun I had in the business, the more money I generated, the more I'm like, is it supposed to be this easy? Because like you had mentioned, it's a feeling of me like I need to work hard. And what's cool is you do not have to, and it becomes a whole lot more fun when the more fun you have.
So good. And I love somebody says hashtag so refreshing. And Abby, I see your question. We're going to get to that next. Remember, if you've asked a question, go ahead and put hashtag question in the chat so that we can make sure to answer it. Brian, what has been the
Yeah,
most useful piece of day 1's training for you?
yeah. I just think really that using their language. So I used to do. I'm a boldness coach, and I met someone who said they really wanted to position themselves to be more elite in their organization. So instead of calling it my bold package, I called it my elite package. And he's like, "This is made just for me. Same material I use for my boldness people, but I make it in their words." And to me, it's not that I'm making it relatable and exactly what they want. Made it easy for them. So that's what I love about it.
Yeah. What's so interesting is sometimes I'm in a sales call and they'll start using a lot of words that are really connected, that resonate with them. And so I'll start using those words and they're like, oh my gosh, how did you know I was thinking that? So I'll give you an example. If I'm coaching a client and and I ask, what's your big vision? What is it you actually really want? And they start saying, I want to live on a house on the beach. I want to have a business I really love. I want to have a family that I feel connected to. And then I'll just literally repeat it back to them and say, oh, so what I hear you saying is you really want to be connected to your family. You really want a house on the beach and to live where you're happy, and you really want a business you love. And they'll say, oh my gosh, yes, that's exactly what I want. And I literally just repeated it, but sometimes we're so busy saying it, we don't hear ourselves hearing it. And so it's so important to say it back to them, to reflect that language back to them so they feel really connected to you. Okay, I want to answer some of these questions coming in. So good. Somebody says hashtag so refreshing. Somebody also says work smart, not hard. Somebody says hashtag gold nugget. Love this round's team of coaches. Yeah. Okay, Abby asked the question, which was really great. And that question is, how do I find these dream clients I want to work with aside from these potential interviews? So I'll let Heather and Brian answer this, and then I have an answer as well. Here's what I'm going to share first, though, is number one, you want to lean into this process. It's very easy to say, okay, I can do the interviews, but what else? And be distracted. Do the interviews. It's going to get you connected to real humans and get you into real conversations with real people. So get into interviews. There are other ways, and I'll share those. But I'm curious to hear from Heather and Brian first. So let's go with Brian first this time, then we'll go with Heather.
Yeah, and actually, my answer is do the interviews because even when you get into real conversations with people, so like I do some things in my community and I get to meet with people, and my conversations are interview type questions. Like I'm not saying this is an interview where I'm understanding, but I'm like, hey, help me understand. Oh, and I hear like I'm just in interview mode, even though I'm not calling it that. So do the interviews,
Yeah,
just meet people.
so good. Let's go with
Yeah.
Heather.
Yeah, and the queen of distractions, the queen of shiny object syndrome, here I am, and I will tell you that there are so many things. It is easier to, in the moment when something feels uncomfortable, it's easy to, well, but I'm going to go over here and do this. I'm going to make social media posts, right? All those things are great, and I will find that I do some of those things because I am scared of the other. So I'm going to reinforce what both of you have already said. If you're feeling like, well, what else is there to do? Stop it right now. Redirect. What is the homework? The homework is to do the interviews because the interviews, the responses you get are so powerful. And I want to shout out because Abby was actually very uncomfortable going live yesterday. And after I went live, she had engaged. Oh, yeah. And was, kind of like wanting to make excuses about it. I'm like, hey, you don't have to show up as me, show up as you and do it. And she did it. So she already has gotten uncomfortable. She's already done the homework and taking steps. And this is just one more. So, Abby, just go do it.
That's amazing. Okay, first of all, congratulations, Abby. We do something in a program that I learned from another mentor called Whooshes. And that's just kind of spirit fingers like this. It's just energetic positivity we're sending your way. So that's awesome, Abby. Way to go live and do what's uncomfortable. Okay, so let me share a couple of answers to answer this question as well. Do the interviews. If we can't repeat that over and over and over again, just do the interviews. And tomorrow, you're going to learn about some social techniques. Especially if you're in the inner circle, you're going to learn about some social techniques. Specifically, we have a document that has over 100 social media posts that you can use to create engagement with your dream clients on social that we're giving away to those in the inner circle. So we're going to be giving that away tomorrow in the inner circle. So if you are wanting to leverage social media, if you do want to connect with people online, if you want to be able to expand your visibility and your reach, make sure you're in the inner circle. It's going to be so good. Okay, let's go to but do those interviews. Do the interviews. It gets you connected. Here's a couple of ways you can do that. Number one, ask people. Say, hey, this is who I'm looking for. Do you know anyone I can interview? If you're like, I don't know anyone. Go ask people if they know someone. Your network knows your dream client is literally within reach. You just have to go ask. So good. Okay, another question. So, hashtag question, what should I say to a person? How long should such an interview take? Great question. It's in the workbook. So, if you haven't taken a picture of the QR code or gone to clientchallenge.com/day one, go there now, get the workbook. You'll be able to download it. It's absolutely free. We put this together for you, and it literally walks you through the entire process: what to say, how to start it, what questions to ask. Literally goes through the whole process. Here's some important questions to consider, and then I'll see Brian and Heather if you experienced anything as well. Is number one, what are you currently so let's say I'm working with somebody as a health coach, and I would say, hey Brian, I am currently a health coach, and I'm curious to ask a couple questions around that. Is that okay? Awesome. You always want to get permission. And then I would want to ask a couple of questions in kind of three topics. Number one is past investments. So I'd want to say, in the past 3 years, how much money would you say you've spent on health-related products, health-related services, or health-related prescriptions, right? Medicine, doctors, etc. Because I want to know how much of Brian's budget is currently going towards my specific work. So maybe he's like, let me tell you, I've spent so much money on all these supplements and all these gym memberships and all these things. Great. It means he's invested. He wants this to work, and he's paid money to figure it out in the past. So he might be willing to pay money again to find the right solution. So number one, past investments. Number two, future possibilities. What is it he actually wants? So maybe for Brian, it's not about weight loss or muscle building. Maybe it's just about endurance and energy. Maybe for him, it's about being able to do this like mud run or this, triathlon, and there's a specific event that he's going after. And so it's not about the other things that I would naturally want to gear my messaging towards. It's around that. So future possibilities. What does he actually want? So past investments, future possibilities, and the final thing is, what type of work is he looking for right now? What type of accountability? What type of service is he looking for right now that would actually work for him? And I want to see if there's an alignment between us two, because I want to know, one, is he willing to spend money on me? Two, can I actually help him get to where he wants to go? And three, is my process aligned with the process he's looking for? So those are some of the questions that I typically start asking around. Heather, Brian, any questions that you've really enjoyed asking? We'll go with Heather first this time.
Yeah, I think for me, a lot of the conversation is not even around a specific question. It's just around caring. It's just around truly listening. And that took practice. So guys, these interviews, you get to practice asking questions and listening as opposed to just tell. Here's what we're gonna do, right? So for me, I've had many people in those conversations like, wow, like you heard me, like what you're saying, Sean. It's like, oh, you heard me. This is what is going to help me. And a lot of it, I'm asking questions, but I'm watching the body language. I'm seeing their shift in their excitement or where they might feel defeated, and we engage and ask more questions about that. So sometimes it's not even the first question that's asked; it's the continual diving a little bit deeper that really gets to the heart of things.
Yeah, Brian.
Yeah, the other one I love to ask is, why is now a good time? Because it really gives me a sense on, are they actually serious about today, or it's like well, maybe someday. But when they ask that, it's like, yes, you get that sense of readiness. You get that sense of all the things that are driving while they're doing it.
Yeah, so good, so good. Okay, we're gonna answer one more question, and somebody, before we answer that question, somebody said the interviews are the absolute key that opens up the vault to your success, both in this challenge and in the business. Trust in sales team, right there. So good. Somebody says, Heather, so true. Distracting from fears to do a real thing. So good. Somebody says, hashtag gold nugget, lean into uncomfortable yet consistent action. So good. Okay, so a couple questions that came in. I want to make sure I answer the right one. So I'm going to answer the one that came in earlier, which was, what is an ideal bundle for a content or copywriter look like? I have a couple of ideas on this that have worked really well. Number one, if you're a copywriter, you want to focus. It depends on the type of people you're working with, but the people that I've helped other copywriters work with most powerfully are people who do conversion events or launches. So, for example, if a coach is doing, or somebody's doing a webinar, a masterclass, a retreat, any type of event that's meant to convert into clients, they're looking for improvement. If you go to them and say, I can write copy, I'll do an email bundle. I'll write 10 emails that nurture your list to get them to sign up for your webinar. That is an easy bundle because it's hyper focused on a specific result. It's a single purpose, single result program. So single result is getting people to opt into your webinar or sign up for whatever. So you can do bundles around email. You can do bundles around social media. You can do bundles around landing page copy or descriptions, things like that. So I would focus in on conversion events or people who are constantly showing up to get visible. So for example, people who have podcasts or live stream shows or anything like that, they're constantly looking for descriptions. They're constantly looking for metadata. They're constantly working for, copy that's going to get more viewers. And so those are the two types of client that I would recommend for you as a copywriter to go in and focus on improvement results or improvement programs and single results programs. So super clear. Hopefully that helps. Brian, Heather, any other thoughts around that?
Yeah, I think just another way that you can look at it too is I always think about three levels. Do it yourself, do it with them, do it for you. So maybe do some kind of a course that says, here's how you can do it yourself. The next one is you might do an event, like a working event. We're going to work on these together. And then three, then you get in the world of Sean, where you're like, hey, I'll do 10 for you. I'll do, whatever that looks like. It's a great framework for whatever your business is.
Yeah, I
And
think that just
VIP days.
reinforces.
No, go ahead, Heather.
I was gonna say, I think that just reinforces that signature offer, right, starting from the top. So what is that bigger offer? And then you get down to trying the done for you, do it or do it with them, do it for them. And then in that, if this is something new and they're kind of just getting started in this content stuff, then they get to see like, oh, doing it for them is completely draining. We're switching. I need a new signature offer. Or they're like, oh my goodness, this is what I want. I like working with the higher level echelon and getting those $10,000 clients. You know what? The course is not my thing. So picking on the one. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Let me just
And I
build
will
on what
say,
she said too, because I think it's
go ahead.
really important that for your signature, you might even say, I won't take on anyone who hasn't done the first thing, because you only work with people who have some experience.
Yeah, that's great. What I was going to add was doing a VIP day where you don't sell deliverables, you sell time. And I've seen this model work really well for service providers. So you will get 6 hours of my time, and I will write any copy and all the copy you want within those 6 hours. I can't promise I'm going to finish anything. So if you want me to write a super long book, probably not going to finish it, but I'm going to write as much as I can within 6 hours. Or if you want a lot of small things that we can write out in 6 hours, I have personally paid $7,500 for like a VIP day where it's doing it during that, and I'm paying for their time, not for the deliverable. And so that has been really scalable that I've seen work with a lot of service providers, especially copywriters. So, okay. So I know we have to get into Inner Circle. If you've joined the Inner Circle, let us know in the chat. We're so excited. All you have to do is go to www. If the team can put in the chat, www.clientchallenge.com/day1. It'll be so good. Somebody says, I am looking for introverted, empathic folks who are wanting to embrace their intuition more easily to have them tap into their more creative and decisive and assertive and profitable selves. So good. I love the clarity there. Somebody says value driven, challenge in full effect. Somebody says gold nugget. I am already deeply caring and listening, but maybe I need to ask deeper questions. So good. Okay, great. So good. So good. All right. So go ahead and join the Inner Circle. We will see you in the Inner Circle in about 8 minutes. Brian's going to be there to lead that call. Bye, everybody. So good.